Let's talk about Save. Can you give me the 10-second pitch of what does Save?
Yeah, Save is doing phone repair services. We basically open small shops, about 15 square meters, located in the middle of the alleys in the mall, and we repair your device in 20 minutes.
Okay, how many people work at Save today?
Today we are 467 people working at Save, and we operate 135 shops through Europe.
Which country are you based in?
We are based right now in France, in UK, in Sweden, in Switzerland, Germany, and Spain.
Okay, and how many phones have you repaired since day one?
How many phones? Over 1 million. I don't know exactly. We basically repair right now over 100,000 units every month.
And for how long have you been working for, building Save?
The company was founded 3 years ago. So, well, I founded it during my studies, and we had really high growth last year. Okay. But yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the very beginning, because one thing I think is super interesting about Save is how you scale it so fast, and you made so many decisions, very radical ones. So you had a shop 3 years ago, and you decided to totally change it and rework on the business model. How this moment came, and how did you do?
That was basically the problem with our first shop. So we opened the first shop 3 years ago. It was a small shop, about 20 square meters. It was in Paris, in the center of Paris. Was working well, the business model was good, the product was good. We had still our value proposition, so it was a very quick repair with an affordable price and a high quality one. But the problem is to open shops, it's very complicated. You have to reproduce every shop, you have to find a location, you have to rework the space. It's pretty complicated. So we thought about reworking actually our model in this scalability mindset, and we switched onto another kind of shops, because we actually need a physical place to repair the smartphones. We offer a service in 20 minutes. To offer a service in 20 minutes, you have to give directly your phone to a rescuer or a technician. We call it technician rescuers. So yeah, we switched onto a model of corners. There are small booths that we put it directly in the middle of the alley, in the footfall of the mall. And with this model, we're able to actually open one corner every day. So,
because it's more flexibility in terms of infrastructure, it costs less.
Sure.
And there are no time frame. I mean, the time is shortened because you don't have so much paperwork to fill in when you want.
That's the whole point. So first of all, the paperwork, that's something very important. So we actually deal lots of locations, maybe 15 different locations, 20 different locations with only one person, because malls belong to big properties that are big companies that has in their portfolio like 30 malls. So we actually sign a contract directly for 30 locations. Second, the place where the booth is located inside the mall is usually vacant. So it means that it's not a problem to open one shop every day, because we don't have to wait for another commerciant to leave the place. So that's pretty scalable. Third, because it's a booth, it's really convenient to build it. So we built our own furniture, and the furniture is always the same basically. So we can build like a series of plenty and open it. But doesn't mean we have lots of barrier as well. So we have to come in the city to hire 2 people. Those 2 people have to make the Save Academy, which is a 3-week program on which they will have to learn how to repair phones. We have to deal with the properties and find the correct spot inside the mall. We negotiate to have the best locations inside the mall as well. So there's lots of steps actually to open a shop, but with this model, with very high execution and this very scalability mindset, like we have to take radical decisions about where we go. Definitely, we had lots of opportunities to actually open really nice shops, but we never did because our model is to open one shop a day, so that's really important for us.
So Damien, you've been a technician yourself. You know how to repair phone, and that's what makes it magic. Actually, it's because you've been through it and you know exactly how to educate people towards this technicity. You've created the Save Academy, which is very important as an onboarding process when every new employee joins Save. Can you explain how you manage this academy? What do you teach people?
Sure. Yeah, actually, what matters actually at Save, it's people. We can have the great location, a great booth, a great marketing, a great pricing. Actually, what matters the most is it's the people, it's the service we provide. It's directly the relationship between the technician and the customer. So during this academy, it's much more than teaching the technical aspects. We're trying to provide them the love of the job. When I always had this impression when I was working in the first shop as a technician, when you give back the phone at the end of the repair to a customer, like you have always this smile. He knows he's gonna pay like 60, 70, 80 euros, but it's not a problem because he has like a very precious thing in his hand that was broken. It's not anymore. It's very satisfying as a technician actually to provide this to our customers. So we're trying to explain to them all of this. All of that process that actually matters. So during the academy, we onboard them also to the culture and the love of the job.
So it's a training. It lasts 3 weeks. It's not online. It's full offline.
First, it's full offline. So there's a 3-week program actually is completely offline.
They learn how to repair. So people who with no degree, no nothing, they can come and learn this.
Exactly. People with no degree. We want people that actually are a little bit salesmen. You know, they are.
Salesmen?
Yeah, salesmen. So salesmen. So they actually can easy talk to customers. You know, they're not that kind of technician that are very super shy with people, etc. So we want people that are allow actually to provide trust to the customer before repairing the phone. And after, we train them on all the technical aspects. We train them also on all the tools we use in turn and all the culture. And this is important. We really explain them that at Save, they're not technicians. We don't want technicians. We don't want people that just disassemble a phone, replace a broken part, and reassemble it. We want people actually that really understand their job as to rescue people. This is actually why we don't call them technicians, we call them rescuers.
So the guy who is repairing is a guy who is also interacting with the client?
Yeah, directly.
Okay.
We want someone that is in the whole process. So he's the one that is giving the information to the customer. He's the one that is taking the phone, that is repairing it, and that is giving it back.
Yeah, so ownership.
Sure.
Responsibility,
ownership. He has the customer directly. And actually that was a problem before because we were first starting a process with only a salesperson that is taking the phone and that is selling the service and someone else that is repairing. But that was bad actually because the guy that was repairing didn't have the relationship with the customer, and the guy that was selling always said, okay, but it's not working well, but this is because of the technician. No, you have your own responsibility. You are the one that rescue. That's completely different. It was game changer.
And how do you create this kind of incentive machine, rewarding them? What kind of KPIs do you ask them to follow, to track?
Sure.
And how do you put this good balance between money they make and the care they put, quality, quantity?
Well, first of all, I think the care key of our business is not that much into KPIs, into the reward. Just on the onboarding process, they feel so on board to the company that they really have the same engagement to the whole project than as a founder, actually. So that was a key thing. So we do lots of things actually to onboard them perfectly. For example, they are basically salesperson, and usually when you are a salesperson in another brand, like selling clothes like Zara or Bershka or something like this, you don't have an email address directly to the company. Those people, we are creating an email address at save.co. We are providing to them business card. We are providing to them lots of things like this. So they really feel on board to the company from day one, and at this specific moment, they don't need specific reward to the customer actually to provide a really huge care to them. After, of course, there is the reward. So every person has a fixed salary regarding their position in the company. So you start, you are a rescuer. After, you are a hero, superhero, and then you are a legend. So this gives a level of fixed salary. And after, we reward with a variable part that is half on the turnover they're making, and half on the care aspects. Each customer at the end of a repair receive a text message or an email that is asking him if the repair was good or not, up to 5 stars. If you push 1 star, this will go on the reward of the rescuer.
Mm-hmm. What were your main trouble when you were scaling? Finding people, raising funds, finding new locations?
I believe it was on people, actually, because we are doing a work of repairing, and technicians doesn't exist actually in our business. When you look at the sales on smartphones, in 2012 sold 200 million units. On 2015, 1.4 billion. So it's just a new product, and there is no one really trained for this product. So scaling hurts for us on people actually to hire great people and to keep them on board, to have the same level of quality. Everything actually, our core business goes through people.
Would you say, Damien, that I would say actually that you are super ambitious, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, but every time you push even higher your standard, you raise your standards. Mm-hmm. It wasn't something you were born with. It's something you taught yourself, right? Yes. Can you give me some of these moments where you push it higher?
Of course, you don't want to go worldwide when you just first open the company. Well, you can just think about it, but don't realize it. When I first opened the shop, I had the ambition actually to build others. So when there was a painter that was painting the wall in the first shop, and I was saying to him that he had to make a very good price for the painting, because with me there will be 4 other shops at the end of the year. It didn't happen because after we opened corners, but so I think I always had this little ambition, but once you have your 4 shops, you want to have 10, and then you want to have 100, and then 200, and whatever. And actually, I think the long-term vision at Save has to go in something different than just go on retail. Mm-hmm. And I think you build your ambition on each steps you build your product. I think at Save it worked like this. So first there was initially the first shop, so our ambition was to open 4 or 5. Once we had the corners and we were able to actually open 1 corner every day, the ambition was to open 100 corners in 1 year. We opened 120 and something last year. And then right now it's to grow on this, but opening corners, it's not exciting for us anymore, because we know how to open it, we know how to scale it. It goes on to one corner every day, so it's not very challenging. So our challenge has to go on other things. Actually, we believe at Save that the smartphone is the only piece of technology we use every day, and we can't do anything about it than just having your smartphone every day with you, because the use is so huge. So we really think at Save that this is the first part of the technology that will be part of our lives. Tomorrow there will be many other objects around us, like fitness trackers, smartwatches, but it can even be a chip in your arm. I don't know, it's not my job to invent all of those products, but I'm sure it will come with. So we actually organized the whole company to this major transformation through technology. Everyone is working on the new app, the new device, and I'm at Save preserving the use of the device and the app. So we are building a leading service company through every connected object. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing.
So where do you see Save within 3 years?
Within 3 years, I see Save, well, 3 years, I think it's not long enough actually to have lots of transformation on the connected objects, but I see Save in 3 years as a company that is able to repair any kind of devices, electronic devices that you will use. So it's laptop, it's tablet, it's fitness trackers, it's smartphones. It can even be devices at your home, like your Nest thermostat or something like this. And Save will actually be a platform on which you just log in. You say what do you want to repair, and we push you the best service for you. So regarding the place where you are, it can be go to a shop, it can be sending a rescuer directly to your home, it can be sending it by mail or something like this. Yeah.
Let me know how you manage to push away the people who think small. Because they are surrounding you. I'm sure you have investors, your first investors, and some, I don't know, maybe family members or people who know well about what you're doing and who may not be at ease when you share with them your big ambition.
Yeah, actually, listening to you, I think there's something of dreaming. When you are convincing people. There are huge stories around us in American startups in US, like Uber, that had such a growth in over the last 4 years, 5 years, employing more than 1 million drivers. There's other stories like this, and so it might seem it's possible actually to build empires at that speed, and so. It's easy for me actually to convince people, making them dreaming about what could be saved in what can be saved in the next 4 years or 5 years. So I think convincing those kinds of people are more something about make them dream about what we can do, and make them believe that that we are going to be the one that's going to succeed. And if you're not at all able to make them dream about this, I think you have to just move out and drop your business relationship with those people and go to others that really will think that it's possible. And actually this convincing exercise is important for all the people that surround you. Could be investor, could be partners, could be employees, it could be your team actually. Well, I'm pretty sure that my close team at Save, they really strongly believe that we can be and become an empire over the next 4 years, 5 years, and they believe it strongly, and that is what is making the dynamic. And I think it's same at our board with our investors and etc. And when they think small, I'm always telling them, but this is not why you invested in. You invested in a company that had a huge ambition. From day one, when I first pitched the company to you, I said, well, we will go worldwide within the next 4 years, 5 years. I said that we were going to be a huge company. Look at my business plan. We're going to do like $500 million turnover in the next 3 or 4 years. And I think it's important really to remind them that this is what we're building. All our radical decisions through scale, through product, are really made to become a really huge company.
Damien, how old are you?
I'm 25.
And the people you're managing, 400 people at Save, approximately the average is?
460 people. There is the average is years old is 27.
27 years old. So they are a bit older than you.
Sure.
How comfortable is it to be the leader of so many people who are older than you?
It's not comfortable every day, to be honest. I think what is important first is to really focus on what you are good at. So you can drop the subject where you're not good at, and that actually secures your position.
For instance,
as a leader.
Where do you feel comfortable and where do you feel comfortable?
First of all, my missions every day as a CEO is first hiring A players that are at the board and are on the top management at Save. And to actually provide to them all the culture, all the ambitions of the company. And I think this is one of my major missions as a leader, is actually to push them and telling them that we are the next Uber. We're going to be as big as Facebook, as Amazon, and it's possible. It's possible because we have faith about it, because we know our path. And I think this is really important. My second mission is to work on the product. Because I'm doing this job for a long time, because I founded the company, I have a huge legitimacy actually to know what the customer needs, what is the customer needs. So and to stay in the game, I go on the corner every Saturday or every 2 Saturdays, depends. Directly on the booth, I take a shirt and I repair smartphones directly in the booth with rescuers. And usually, what I do is that I don't even have the relationship with the customer. I let them having the relationship with their customers, and I'm repairing for them. It means I'm their executant. I love this position because first I can observe, second I can still having my technical skills and still continue repairing, and I think this way I can better the product every day with the rest of the team. To actually build this long-term vision, and I have a third mission is to represent the company. So it's intern through all the employees. It's extern, could be medias or ever, and third it's to all our shareholders, which is actually right now little time-consuming. I'm providing to them a report every week. There's a board meeting every month, every 5-6 weeks. So it's time-consuming, and I'm keeping this relationship. And because I'm as the CEO and the founder, I give to all of those people the direction and the ambition. For the rest, actually, the everyday management of a company. First, I don't believe that when you are 25 years old and you don't have like 10 or 15 years of experience in the retail, you have you are the best person to manage the logistics, the HR aspects, the development of each corner, the sales, the mixed product, the sourcing. We have lots of barriers. Our business is actually pretty complicated, and I'm not the best person to do this. So I think you build your legitimacy by dropping all of these subjects where you're not good at and pushing really far on what you are good at. And second, I really have in mind, actually there's a partner from the family, is called Jean, that really remind me something, and I really stick on this concept, that a great leader has to be the perfect mix between humility and ambition. and between determination and flexibility. So having too ambition is good, but it's good to be humble as well. And same, having a huge determination on something, you have to look at all the things that's around you and to have a little bit of flexibility to go to achieve your goal actually. And I think it's important.
Did you have some big moment of doubt at certain period of times?
Sure, always have. Always have. When I was opening the shops, I had so much doubt. And when we opened the first corner, actually we opened 3 corners in a row. The cash level at Save was 0. So if it failed, the company was done. It was bankrupt, it was sure. So yeah, we have lots of risk, lots of doubt, and I think my practice to kill those doubts is to talk to people that inspire me a lot. And as you know, I'm part of the family as a company. So sometimes when you see me in the in the building for like 1 full day or 2 full day, it's because I'm sourcing this energy from this place. But there's other people, entrepreneurs, great entrepreneurs with whom I have relationships, so I can talk to about my problems, and they always remind, Guy, you have a great company, a great product, a great team, everything is going well, so go and kill it. And it's important sometimes to go outside of your company and having those feedback from external people sometimes.
Mm. And you always push for the bigger, so even when you're negotiating with hardcore investors, where do you find the guts, I would say, to actually push always more for more and never negotiate against the company?
I always have in mind actually that those kind of pushing acts, it is exactly what they are looking for. This is always what I have in mind. But it's not only for hardcore investors, or it could be also for employees, could be for board members, could be for the property actually with whom we are negotiating. So we're negotiating with them like 15 or 20 shops. So they're doing such a thing about 20 shops. And I'm just telling them, okay, but if you don't want to, I don't care, because I will open in the next year like 200 new shops, and then you will come for me for these 20 shops. This doesn't represent anything comparing to the ambition of Save. So I always have in mind, maybe it's false, I don't know, that when I talk to those kind of people and I have to convince them about pushing, about the ambition, about the goal where we are going, I always have in mind that this is what they're looking for. So I'm playing with it. I think it's pretty fun actually to write an email with lots of ambition, with great character. I always think it's what they're looking for. So I have fun to do it.
And you always push for the bigger. So even when you're negotiating with hardcore investors, where do you find the guts, I would say, to actually push always more for more and never negotiate against the company?
I always have in mind actually that those kind of pushing acts, it is exactly what they are looking for. This is always what I have in mind. But it's not only for hardcore investors, or it could be also for employees, could be for board members, could be for the property actually with whom we are negotiating. So we're negotiating with them like 15 or 20 shops. So they're doing such a thing about 20 shops. And I'm just telling them, okay, but if you don't want to, I don't care, because I will open in the next year like 200 new shops, and then you will come for me for these 20 shops. This doesn't represent anything comparing to the ambition of Save. So I always have in mind, maybe it's false, I don't know, that when I talk to those kind of people and I have to convince them about pushing, about the ambition, about the goal where we are going, I always have in mind that this is what they're looking for. So I'm playing with it. I think it's pretty fun actually to have to write an email with lots of ambition, with great character. I always think it's what they're looking for. So I have fun to do it.
Okay, Damien, we've been talking about your personal life. You do a one-day diet every week, etc. But you love to party.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you really enjoy this. You even created the party in Paris where you gather your friend, and it's like thousands of people who are joining this bisou bisou.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the party.
Sure.
Is it something that has been part of your life at SAVE? I mean, did you invite your SAVE team to the party? Would you say that you try also to put some more parties
onto the culture?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. Maybe it's something I didn't notice, but it was done naturally. Yeah, I worked for nightclubs for 6 or 7 years during my studies, and I think it's also the mindset at SAVE. You know what I feel when I organize a party? I feel that all of those people that are partying down there, they are dancing together. Some of them are kissing each other. They are drinking each other. They're meeting each other, and I think when I organize the party, I have this thinking like, yes, I made this. All of those people are really happy, and thanks to the party we organized as team, and that is, you have an intense satisfaction organizing this, and usually I don't drink when I'm organizing the party, and so this is a fun thing actually, participate to a party and everyone is drunk, you don't speak the same language at all, and you take a look at the party, and it's pretty awesome. You say, oh, I provide this. At SAVE, I have the same sensation when I'm repairing a device. Actually, it's you repair the device, you give back the device directly to the customer. Like he's like jumping in the air. It's crazy. Like, oh, thank you so much. Like, okay, I just repaired it. It's going to cost you 70 euro. You know, yeah, but it's so great. Oh, I don't know what I didn't repair this 2 weeks ago. I'm so stupid. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you all my friends. Or yeah, okay, let's do this. Yeah, you have this. I have the same sensation. Like you're providing an intense satisfaction, and that's something. Yeah.
How did it change your day-to-day life? I'm talking about the personal life. Do you wake up at 6 in the morning to do some meditation and yoga?
Yeah, the miracle morning. No, I'm not. Actually, I get up as pretty late, around 8, 9, sometimes 10 or 11 if I'm pretty asleep. But actually, I have a few rules in my journey, and I really it's something pretty new actually. It's been 1 year and a half that I'm doing this, and I really think it's better, and actually I really realized that I have more energy, more creativity. It's really better. So first of all, it's not rocket science, but I do a little bit. Yeah.
What is this?
I do a bit of sport.
Every day?
Almost like 3-4 times a week. I do or tennis, or I run, or I go to a sport club or whatever. But yeah, I try to do at least 1 hour of sport every 1 or 2 days. I try to do it every day, but it's pretty hard. But every 2 days it works. Second, I have something about food. Actually, yeah. Well, it's not something, but 1 year and a half ago, I had 10 kilos more.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No one realized it, but yeah. I have something on the food actually. I don't really eat as much as I was eating. Yeah. I think that when you eat, actually, you have lots of energy from your body that is for the digestion. and it's if you eat less, you have less energy consumed by the digestion, so it works well. And second, that goes weird. I take one day each week where I don't eat the whole day.
Ah, you're doing diets full day?
Yeah, diets on one whole day.
Which day is it? Sunday?
It's usually on Monday, so it was yesterday actually.
Okay, so you can talk to people and have no trouble and only drink water.
The problem, so I only drink water. No, I drink also sodas, but without sugar. And if I'm very hungry, I can eat an apple. It's not a problem. You know, it's not a huge challenge.
So from 8 to?
I like from 24 hours. So I get up in the morning. I don't eat anything, and I go to sleep without eating.
How do you feel the day after?
The day after, you're not hungry anymore. It's crazy. And actually, if you achieve doing this one day, the first day is pretty hard, and the second day you feel like you really can't eat. Like you don't have to eat, but I eat the second day because I don't want trouble or I have to. It's for after you have a lack of energy. But yeah, it's something.
And during this diet day, you don't feel tired?
You don't feel tired at all. You can feel very hungry. Well, if you are running all the day and like making calls, meeting, and going from one place to another, actually you don't realize that you haven't eaten and you're not hungry. But if you are, actually, you can eat an apple. It's not a problem. You eat an apple and after you're good. So yeah. And there's a third thing.
This is interesting. What did it bring to you?
Sorry?
What did you? Where did you
get this idea? Yeah. From the biography of Steve Jobs. I don't know if he is someone super inspiring, but in his book he say that in the first part of his life he was a hippie in the valley, and during weeks actually he was not eating anything but apples. And he had a moment where he was just eating one apple every day for like 2 weeks. And he said that it was the moment at his life where he had the most amount of energy and where he felt the most creative. So I thought it was pretty interesting, so I tried to do it for one day and it's working pretty well. After, if you look at on internet, on the web, like one day diet, you just hear that it's also pretty good for disease, for not only actually for your energy or for your creativity, it's also very good for all disease. And stay strong. So I thought it was a good idea. So this is how it started. And actually, this is why Apple is Apple's name is Apple. It's because of this. Because he was working in the countryside and eating one apple a day. And I have a third thing. I'm doing something. Well, actually, I have 4 things. So first is the sport, second diet, third is I provide informations and my creativity from many things. Could be books, could be blogs, could be movies or whatever.
Your inspiration comes from anywhere. Okay.
My inspiration comes from lots of supports, lots of resources. Yeah. And I take 3 mornings during my week. So it's on the Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday morning. I stay at home, or I can go in a hotel in a cozy place, and I don't do anything but reading. I don't touch my emails. I don't do any meetings. I don't do anything else but reading, watching things. And after I'm providing all of this inspiration to save, and I think it's really important. And actually, sometimes I go in my office and saying to my team, okay, we are doing this for 1 year. Okay, we're going to stop do this, and we are going to do this. Actually, that gives me lots of ideas to build actually the direction of save, and to have convictions about what we are doing in a certain moment. And there is the last thing I do is that we're working with the...
Can you give me just an example of the last decision you made thanks to this morning creativity session?
The last biggest thing I provided to save is from the book 0 to 1 of Peter Thiel. He says that actually there's 4 biggest things that every startup has to build to be in a monopoly situation. And I thought that those 4 aspects was really, really well fitting with Save. So the first thing is branding. I really think that in our business it makes sense. Save has to be a no-brainer once you have a problem with any connected devices. Second is proprietary technology for scaling, actually. So we're not going to, either if we're doing retail, we're not going to install SAP at Save. So we are building our own technology, our own cashier system on native iOS apps. We're building actually every technology intern because it is going to be a really advantage through all our competitor. If they want to do the same thing that Save, they will have to build all of their systems. So this is a monopoly situation. The third thing is the network effects. You are coming one day for the smartphones, tomorrow you'll come for your laptops, the day after tomorrow you'll come for a domotic device. So this is a huge network effect. And so actually all of those core things are really fitting well from Save, and I'm providing it from books like this. And the last thing is every Monday afternoon, same, I don't do any meetings and anything, so during the Monday it's like my weekend, so I'm doing my weekend is last 3 days, so it's Saturday, Sunday and Monday. And on the Monday, so on the morning I'm I'm reading inspiring things, and on the afternoon I'm spending one whole afternoon with Cyril, actually, that is my partner. He's a 42-year-old guy, he's a super expert in retail, and we're working together very closely, and the Monday afternoon is the only moment that we have for it's our moment, actually. So we don't do anything but talking. So I'm talking about my last week, he's talking about his last week, we're talking about the strategy at Save. From all what I read, all what I do, I'm providing to him like the direction of the company, we're discussing it. And at the end of the day, with all the afternoon I spent with Cyril, with all the week I did, I send on the Monday evening, I send the report to all shareholders at Save.
All right. So every week you send it. Yeah. Okay. And do you have stand-up moments with your team? Is it a weekly meeting that you organize? Do you have you with the managing team?
As a meeting?
Yeah.
Actually, we have a COMEX. It's a committee of execution. So here you have all the major managers at Save, but it's like logistic, it's buying, it's sales, all the biggest departments. But that's the word of Cyril, actually. He's actually managing all of those people. He have lots of convictions about what to do on the business every day to really provide the greatest experience to our customers. But that's not my part, because I really think that within my experience and when you are 25, you're not the greatest person actually to have convictions about what to do on logistics, buying, cash, whatever. And I have another part on product. So I manage 5 people. So there's Hugo at branding, there's Greg on product design, Oliver that is a CTO, Stefan that is product manager. He's actually working on all the services that we provide to our customers at Save. So he knows what will be the next device that we're going to put in our catalog, how we're going to repair devices directly at home, how we're going to manage this. And the last person is Geoffroy from acquisition. He's the head of acquisition. So I'm doing 2 meetings every week actually, with those people, and I manage only 5 people, and only for the product part. From the execution part, it's the word of Cyril, and we talk together every Monday afternoon. That's how we do.
Can you talk about your internationalization in Europe, country by country? So how does it work? Do you have, for each country, I guess, to hire someone, a manager, then rescuers, and of course deal with the local culture and the property?
Yeah, sure. Yes, actually, we're right now in France. We are in 100 malls. So basically, we are in almost every malls over 5 million of footfall in terms of visitors. So we are in every malls in France, basically. So that gives 20 to 25% of owning the market shares. But in Europe, it's pretty complicated because actually to reproduce this, you can't reproduce it. To have
you mean there are no other malls like that? They are not organized the same way?
Malls there are. Actually, it's pretty much organized the same way, but it's your product that you have to look at. First of all, we think that us French, we have exactly the same smartphones that Spanish has or Swedish has or whatever, Germans, but not at all. It doesn't work like this at all. Second, the pricing is completely different. Third, the business model is completely different as well. Why? Because the level of tax is not the same, the rental fees is not the same. I mean, in terms of percentage in the business model, the salaries are not at all the same. So actually, you have to rebuild your business model to fit, on each country, to fit directly into.
But the most important, I guess, is to have your product adapted to the local users.
Exactly.
So for instance, in Spain, what are the major changes?
In Spain, the biggest problem is the product mix. The product mix is completely different. In our catalog, actually, is way different. In France, we have the biggest brand we are repairing in France is Apple. It's not the same at all in Spain. There is Samsung, and there is many other brands. In France, for instance, we have Wiko, that is very well known. So it's like 10% of market shares. In Spain, they have many other brands like Wiko that are doing smartphones at a cheap price, and we don't have at all those products in our catalog. So we came in Spain, opening a booth with exactly the same pricing, and opening with the same catalog, the same stock on each corner, and it wasn't working at all. So we're like, why is that we do like 400 euros every day as turnover? It's not possible. So we just figured that actually it has to be rebuilt from its all. And after, there's the culture. For this aspect, the culture, what we do is that we actually develop the country with a country manager that is a local person. So before opening the country, we hire a country manager. He's coming to Save. He's doing the Save Academy with French people, basically. He spends lots of time with the rest of the team. Could be buying, could be HR, management, whatever. He's spending actually time with everyone for 1 month. And after, regarding what he's seen in France, he built it in his country, and he has actually the eye to say, okay, in France you are doing this in HR aspects. This doesn't work at all in Germany. You know, as German, we don't like when you talk too much about ambition. This is going to frighten people. If you want to provide some ambition, do it this way. And so he rebuilt actually the whole model, and he opened the country like this. Yeah. and after you have lots of problematics, like right now, for example, we manage 3 different currencies in UK and Sweden. It's different currencies, so yeah, it's pretty complicated.
Almost every country from continental Europe you're based in already.
Almost, actually, we not almost. Well, we have the challenge of opening 1 new country every month. So we started last September, and since then we opened 5 countries. But there's other. We're not in Portugal yet. We're not in Italy yet.
Have you seen some surprising growth in any country you were not expecting?
Sweden, yeah, it's pretty incredible. But yeah, Sweden it's not a very big country, so it wasn't a number 1 choice. Yeah, and it's really growing well. Each shops, actually, we thought that at a certain level or a turnover is mature, so. Like, we don't have, maybe it can grow, but it grow at like 10 or 15% every year. So actually, to have another growth, you have to open new shops. In Sweden, we have right now 9 shops on around 10 million inhabitants country. So it's enough. But we thought that the turnover was mature, but it's not at all. It's still growing. It's pretty insane, and the ratio it's not what we have in France at all. So in France, we have a ratio between the turnover we're doing, or the numbers of repair, regarding the footfall, the numbers of visitors in the mall. The ratio is not at all the same in Sweden. Maybe they break more. I don't know. I don't know why. It's pretty insane. Maybe it's because sometimes you have some ridiculous things, like the property, the guy that is selling to you the location, he's lying on the footfall in the mall. Sometimes it's things like this. Sometimes it's just because the footfall is not the same. There is a repeat that is way more important in France. So that means that it's always the same people that are going to the same mall. In Sweden, not at all the same. And lots of people are going from every cities around, and
yeah, the travel more.
Yeah, things like this.
Why didn't you choose to go directly to the US?
We didn't choose to go directly to the US because it's too complicated, actually. Actually, right now we have a support team that is pretty dense, that is located in Paris, and it's the whole support for all Europe. So basically, we have 1 workshop for all Europe, we have 1 warehouse for all Europe, we have only 1 buying department, only 1 HR department, and it's working for all Europe. So we open a country as if it was another shop in south of France, not in Paris. So it's exactly the same. The only thing with opening the US, we have to reproduce all of this, because you have to build another customer support, you have to build another HR system, you have to build everything as new. You need an accountant there. You need to rebuild this. So first of all, doesn't work
as easy as in France to scale to Europe.
It's pretty complicated, but we want to go to the US.